Concernant la mort de la jeune Elizabeth Adams. Je ne crois pas que la duchesse de Hillsborough ait quelque chose à voir là-dedans. Mais néanmoins, il fallait une poignée fine pour tenir ce couteau. Allons voir ce qu'elle raconte. Et d'ailleurs, elle n'était pas là à notre rendez-vous.
What can I do for you, Louis?
I've come to see you about last night's tragedy. Did you hear anything about what happened to Elizabeth?
Yes, we all did. Rumors spread quickly, you know. How awful. I didn't know her well, but I hope at least the poor thing didn't suffer too much.
Oui, quand même 9 fois, je pense qu'elle a eu
Elizabeth was stabbed 9 times. No doubt she suffered greatly.
9 times? What monster is capable of such a horrible thing? Do you know what happened exactly?
In fact, Lord Mortimer has asked me to look into this case, Emily.
Really? Are you Lord Mortimer's snoop now?
I'm doing it for Elizabeth, not to please Mortimer.
Good for you. Quite right, too. Have you found out anything?
I'm now interviewing all the guests to establish the alibis for each person. Just so that I can cross you off the list of suspects, can you tell me what you were doing on the night of the murder?
Am I given to understand that I'm on the list of suspects?
Don't take it the wrong way, but I must consider every possibility.
Well, if you absolutely wanted to be sure of my activities that evening, you only had to join me, you know.
I know, Emily. Especially since I couldn't prevent the murder, even though I spent part of the evening with Elizabeth.
You're sure it's not too hard to bear for you?
The fact is, I don't have a choice. But I will find the murderer. I owe Elizabeth that, at least.
Je sais pas, elle était un peu spéciale, Elizabeth.
Did you and Elizabeth get to know each other?
I must admit, Louis, I didn't take much interest in her. I feel a bit guilty about it, but I never actually spoke to her. She seemed burdened by her problems, and as she wasn't invited to the conference, I didn't really seek her out.
We found the murder weapon.
What is it?
A dagger, quite slim.
Have you found its owner?
Not yet. Still searching as it happens. That said, since the blade penetrated the body several times, the murderer's hand will have been covered in blood.
You think that's a clue?
The handprint was a very slender hand, Emily. Probably that of a woman.
Do you realize what that means? There are only 3 of us on the island. Bearing in mind that neither my sister nor myself had any reason to set upon the young lady, that means...
I know, Emily. I know.
Keep up your courage, Louis. I'm sure there's an explanation. You're bound to shed some light on it all.
If what you say is true, Emily, I'm less and less enthusiastic about shedding any light on the subject. I found a torn piece of dress in Miss Adams' room. Gray silk.
Where's it from?
That's what I'm trying to find out. The color doesn't match any of Elizabeth's dresses, but I might not have found all of her clothes yet.
Good Lord, Louis, do you realize what this means? If this piece of dress isn't from Elizabeth, then it's... I don't have any grey silk dresses, Louis. Neither does my sister, since we wear the same clothes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to check with you.
I'm so sorry, Louis.
Thank you.
Are you all right? You know, I'm sure there's a good reason why your mother was at the scene.
Thank you, Emily. I won't keep you, Emily. Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
Très spécial. Faut d'autres choses de ça croire quand même que c'est ma mère.
Elle était désolée dès le début, elle. Comme si elle savait.
Comme si elle savait que c'était ma mère?
On n'est pas surprise.
Mère. Quoi? Comment? Oh. J'ai une petite patte ce que j'ai vu là. Bon, des raisins, tout ça, c'est bien. Moi je veux
C'est
dire.
pas sa famille.
Bah oui, figure-toi que c'est ce que je suis en train de me dire. Si ça se trouve, c'est ma mère, la salope. Et bon, la meurtrière, pardon. Quoi? éternel coupable déjà, hein. Bon, je fais comme si je n'étais jamais venu, hein.
There's just one holster in Bonaparte's gear, and the pistol is missing. On the other hand, his cleaning equipment is in mint condition. That's typical of the soldier in him.
My dear Napoleon,
Ah, ça, je l'ai déjà lu. L'invitation mondiale. Là donc, un cavalier. Et Holm aussi, à qui j'ai toujours pas passé, quand je parle. Bon.
Il a l'air bouleversé, lui.
Ouais. Ah, je peux plus rien. Ah, mais ça, c'est la merde. Pour mener l'enquête, j'ai plus aucun bonus. Bah, il a pieds nus. Ah bon? Monsieur a 2 paires de chaussures. D'accord. Dis donc, il peut pas y aller rentrer, celle-là, apparemment. Par contre, là, ils ont l'air de dire que c'est un grand homme. C'est bizarre, parce que ça n'avait pas l'air d'être décrit comme un grand homme.
Monsieur de Richet, please be quick. We are both very busy.
Plus calme, plus calme.
As any good soldier would, I imagine you own a firearm. May I see it?
Oh, well, if you really want to, here is my pistol. Don't worry, it is not loaded.
Do you have several of these?
In Corsica, oui, but not on me when I am traveling. Only a bandit would carry such an
La grosse faute
arsenal.
qu'ils ont fait sur Brigand.
Thank you.
Brigand, ils ont écrit. Donc il a son flag sur lui déjà.
Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time. Now I know why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
Ah, ça c'est vraiment la merde.
Were you able to recognize the prowler?
Unfortunately not, no. It was dark, and Lord Mortimer was waiting for me. I was not really paying attention anyway.
Ah, mais dis, je ne peux plus rien invoquer, même pas l'aide du public. Ah.
Did you hear about young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is deeply regrettable.
Lord Mortimer asked me to...
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards.
Normalement, il est censé avoir joué avec l'américain.
Can you tell me who was present at the game, please?
Well, there were Lord Mortimer, President Washington, and Sir Gregory.
Bah, jamais
Thank
parlé
you.
de cartes, Mortimer.
And His Eminence Piaget as well. Excuse me, I nearly forgot him. Poor soul.
Ils étaient pas là tous, c'est pas possible, on m'a pas dit qu'ils étaient tous là. Déjà, attends un peu. Piaget, on en a pas parlé. Washington, c'est possible, mais ils sont montés tôt, paraît-il, tous les deux. Et...
Did any of you leave
attends.
during the game?
Not that I know of, monsieur. I didn't exactly spend my time noting the other guests' comings and goings, but I don't think so.
Thank you.
Normalement, c'est lui et l'autre qui sont partis en premier.
What time did the game end?
I can't say exactly. As for me, I must have stayed until midnight. I was exhausted, couldn't think straight, so I preferred to go up to bed.
On your way up to bed, did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
No, not in the least. The whole manor was sound asleep.
Not really. No.
Non, il raconte des conneries, lui.
Did you notice anything unusual during the
L'hôtel est
evening?
morte à 3h15.
Nothing at all. Except the luck of the devil of Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory at cards.
Did they win much?
Oh la la, monsieur, they cleaned us out more like. But I plan on getting it all back before we leave.
Ce qui est bizarre, c'est que Mortimer m'a dit qu'il parlait avec deux types. Je me rappelle pas qui était le deuxième. Peut-être le mec des cultes. Bon bah...
Well, have we finished, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
J'ai essayé d'aller voir mon vieux pote Wilfried et je vais peut-être revenir. Fais gaffe, Bonnie. Toujours pas vu Washington. Alors on va voir. Ah non, 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 pas Monsieur Pérou. Ah, quoi que.
What do you want from me, de Richet?
Greetings. It's fallen to me
Cut
that...
the crap! Get to the point. We both know why you're here.
Je voudrais faire un tour dans
And
notre chambre.
have you got anything to tell me?
What does it matter? It's too late anyway. Do what you have to do and get out.
Un beau style, lui.
The Massacre of the Innocents by Rubens. A bit gloomy. Guess my room
Dis donc, il y a mon
is not
Lopatia dans
that
sa
bad.
chambre.
Great, honey.
Ah ah! La gelée royale.
A pattern with 4 circles.
Genre, il regarde à droite à gauche et le mec est derrière.
Ouais, mais regarde une pâture de bourreau, c'est son truc à lui. Ah, ouh, là il y a quelque chose de bon là. Il me faut de l'eau et de la gelée
Dear
royale.
Monsieur Peru, I'm writing to thank you for the funds you sent. These funds will be crucial for the renovation of the western wing of the orphanage. The children you sent are doing marvelously well, and little Pierre will soon be walking. Some of them still sometimes suffer nightmares about their parents on the scaffold, but I expect they will cease in due course. Should you decide to send us more, please note that another 20 beds will soon be ready.
Bah, il coupe la tête
The
des parents et il
children
s'occupe
and
des gosses, c'est
myself
une bonne chose, mais...
will never thank you enough. Long live the Republic. Long live France. Sister Marie-Hélène. Right. I've retrieved everything. Another painting on the Massacre of the Innocents?
Dis donc, la vache.
Nice decor for a revolutionary tribunal judge's room.
Ouais, c'est ça. C'est un exécuteur, très clairement, hein, je vois. Tiens donc, on essaie d'effacer quelque chose.
The Massacre of the Innocents, but by Van
Quoi?
Harlem. I think that Mortimer likes to play mind games with his guests.
Ouais, mais ouais, c'est ça qui m'intéresse. Bon. J'ignore si nous nous reverrons, je suis prisonnier aujourd'hui, piégé par mes propres décisions. Tu dois être protégé. Mon avenir est perdu, mais toi tu peux en être sauvé. Quelle que soit la rancœur que tu auras contre moi, sache que j'ai pactisé avec un diable que je pensais maîtriser. Je croyais que je connaissais les monstres, mais ce que j'ai fait pour la France n'est rien comparé à ce dont ils sont capables. Aujourd'hui, je ne vois pas d'issue. Les mâchoires se referment sur moi. Je t'aime maintenant et à jamais. Là, c'est une lettre qu'il a d'écrire à quelqu'un. Qu'est-ce que c'est ça? Qu'est-ce qui me bloque? Le rayon de soleil. Trop fort ce rayon de soleil. Est-ce que c'est une pipe? Toute la fenêtre fermée, ça me fout le bandon. Ah bon? Lui aussi il a une baignoire. Ah bah dis donc, il y en a qui ont de la chance ici. On voit les petits protégés.
Records of the police. Notes intended for the police lieutenant of Paris. It's a list of people under surveillance in Paris. And there's some well-known names on it. This is valuable information. This shouldn't be lying around.
Haha. Bon, alors celui-là il est en triple exemplaire quoi.
dear friend, please come and join us. We must meet about the ongoing operations in Paris. A boat will be waiting for you in Calais and will take you to Dover in England. From there, a carriage will take you to the port of Tintagel, where a frigate will be waiting for you and other guests, so you can meet up with me on my island as quickly as possible. I await your arrival. Lord William Mortimer.
À chausse-pied, à chausse-botte plutôt. Okay. Il mange à poil devant sa... D'accord, on ne va pas le juger là-dessus. Il y a problème avec les femmes, lui. Alors regarde, 9 coups de couteau, regarde, voilà le tableau qui l'accuse. Bon, d'accord, ok. Ah bon, lui déjà il peut pas passer par les balcons pour assassiner les gens. Oh, mais que vois-je?
Amber crystals.
Parfait. Est-ce que j'ai passé de niveau? Non, je vois pas. Ah non, de toute façon, je passe que de niveau une fois de temps en temps. Allons-y.
All right. Have you finished?
Oh, que
Not
non.
quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. 2 days ago, I surprised you having a go at Miss Adams. What happened? Did you want to give her another beating? She wouldn't let you push her around again, huh?
Shut up, you little shit! You have no idea what happened, and here you are, carping away. You think you're investigator of the year. Have you taken a look at yourself, de Richet?
Didn't you get enough beating her black and blue the last time?
I did not!
Par contre, c'est marrant parce que tous les Français parlent mieux anglais que Napoléon.
Go on. Keep going.
Finish what you came to do, then get out of my room.
Let's get right to it. Are you Elizabeth Adams' murderer?
That is for you to prove, if I'm not mistaken,
C'est
boy.
pas très subtil, tu
You
vois.
weren't expecting me to do all the legwork for
Ouais,
you,
c'est
were
pour
you?
savoir, je teste aussi, tu vois.
Lazy man.
Tu utilises un point pour rien.
I know you were at the scene. We will save a lot of time if you just tell me what happened.
You know nothing at all.
Enlighten me then. For now, I have your footprint in a pool of blood.
That's right. The only thing you can prove is one of my boots was at the scene. Congratulations, you've wrapped up the investigation.
C'est comme... Ah bon. Bah écoute mon vieux, je vais te charger, hein, même si c'est pas toi. Vu ton manque de sympathie. Enfin, où est-ce qu'elles sont ces bottes? Je ne vois aucune botte seule.
All right, have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. You were armed the night of my arrival. Can I see your weapon?
No.
You do realize you're not helping, don't you? You're making it worse for yourself. I'd like to talk about the letter you're writing. What woman is it addressed to?
Who says it's a woman? I'm not saying any more. There's no point you insisting.
Sous cet écrit et eux, du coup.
Il y avait encore une autre phrase?
Non, est-ce qu'il dit
Et ah oui d'accord, oui, oui.
Ouais. Sinon c'est pas écrit. Je peux faire des foot aussi.
Bien sûr.
Ah, tel bonhomme, j'imagine.
A few leaves out of no encyclopedia.
Mais lui, ça sera trop évident que ce soit lui, donc ça sera pas lui.
Ah, je sais pas. Je vois bien ce que tu veux dire, mais d'un autre côté... Elle est morte, on peut pas la ramener, alors on peut accuser qui on veut, et lui je le sens pas. Vaut mieux que ce soit lui que mère, tu vois.
Pas sûr, hein, si ta mère c'est une grosse...
Comment parles-tu de maman?
Ah bah écoute...
Ah non!
C'est une folle furieuse.
Oui bah tant qu'elle ne me fait
Non,
pas de
pas
mal.
mère.
Tant qu'elle ne me fait pas de mal à moi et qu'elle tue tout le monde. Un russe? Ou un allemand, je sais pas.
The signs of obscurantism.
Oh cool, ah c'est chez Monsieur du culte là?
Ouais. Il fallait bien y passer. Je suis en surconsommation de tous ces produits là, ça va pas. Hop là.
The Sorrows of Young Werther. There's a handwritten text signed by von Werner on this first page. Dear Elizabeth, I know that this book is but a small token compared to the delightful moments you gave me, but I hope that this will nonetheless keep the memory alive. Your ever obedient servant. So, Werner had a relationship with Elizabeth.
Ça va faire parler là.
That's hardly surprising given his fondness for the occult.
Ok.
Ah bah ça doit être un sujet intéressant, Elisabeth, pour lui.
Là il fait un thème astral. Ok. Avec le sabot ouroboros
C'est
qu'elle
lui qui a
avait
dû
sur
faire
la
les
poitrine.
tatouages,
Ouais. Ouais.
Toi je comprends.
La table des sabots alchimiques.
A table of alchemical symbols.
Il y a un rouge là
Someone
aussi.
circled the zinc symbol.
Le zinc. Ah, tu vois en bas à gauche, c'est les éléments de la... C'est les 4 élémentaires justement, les triangles inversés, etc. Et je crois que la Terre c'est celui en bas à droite. Triangle inversé, ligne blanche. Ligne horizontale. À vérifier.
Golden elixir. A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
Bah là peut-être un rapport avec l'occultisme.
Attends, c'est qui? Elle c'est Adams,
Mes dieux.
Ellie, mais c'est en anglais. Hein. Je vais bien
Eh bah
essayer.
les yeux.
Lydie. Ah merde, ça marche pas.
Liu. L'ému. Clic, 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 clic. Ah, zinc.
Ouais, exact. Ta-da-da-da-da-da-da. Attends, c'est parce que je vois pas, ouais. Le plus important, c'est la combinaison d'écriture avec le plus de compétences en qui utilisent. Ok. Et tu vas en avoir des trucs, j'aurais jamais le temps de lire tout ça. Je sais pas combien d'épisodes il fait au total.
The alchemist is a young man.
Alchimiste jeune.
Jeune.
Ah ouais, putain la vache. Qu'est-ce que...
Je veux pas savoir quel état il sera quand il sera vieux.
Ah, il est classe sa chambre lui. Ah, il a pris de la substance dorée pour se protéger contre mon attaque. Alchimiste vieux.
The alchemist is an old man.
Ah.
A fragment of amber.
Il y en a sur Poi 4? Non, ils sont chauds. Eh, ils ont tous des baignoires sauf moi, c'est quoi ce bordel?
C'est pas la première fois qu'ils viennent, je crois.
Bah, mère non plus.
Au bout de la deuxième fois, t'as le droit à la baignoire.
Mais c'est le maire.
Oui, la tienne. La sienne.
Bah, mère et moi, on faisait tout ensemble.
Byzant
Oui,
in
bah,
the Byzantine
oui,
Empire. A coin often used during the Saint Year.
Dans le même mini déjà.
Bah, maman et moi, on est très proches depuis la mort de papa. Ah, qu'est-ce que...
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Alors, il y a 2 crabes, des poissons. Je vois pas bien ce que c'est le gros truc blanc là. Une raie un peu boursouflée, une raie très mal dessinée à mon avis. Ah, c'est une raie, ouais, je crois.
Une raie polie?
Une raie du cul. Excuse-moi, elle était facile celle-là.
Bah mieux alors.
What can I do for you, de Richet?
Monsieur, Lord Mortimer has appointed me to investigate the tragedy that befell us last night.
Oh, yes. It's horrible. Yes. How can I help?
Oh ouais, ça va, c'est que tu couches avec.
Excuse me for asking, but did you know Miss Adams?
Oh, she...
Connaissez-vous? À peine.
Not really, to tell the truth. No.
I found the Votre dedication, signed by your hand, monsieur. Would you like to change your version now?
Be careful, de Richet. Don't push your luck. My relationship with Miss Adams was pure, and has nothing to do with you. Well, continue playing the detective as you see fit. But if I find the bastard who did that to Elizabeth, I will...
Yes! I would have preferred a simple response, but I see I have my answer now.
Lui, je vais l'envoyer tabasser le gros balèze, et puis je vais l'accuser lui, ça ira plus vite. Ah, j'ai qu'un point, il faut que je sache bien. Alors attends, stop. Non, hop. Oh! Je sais pas à quoi il est. Attends, stop.
Moi, j'aurais demandé la nature de...
Attends, c'est qui? C'est Vol. Il est immunisé à l'occultisme. Ils sont bien quand ils sont faits comme ça, leur portrait là, tu vois. Voilà. Il y a encore une personne que j'ai pas rencontrée ici. Mortimer.
Mais au niveau des personnages, c'est un bel homme lui.
Lui?
Il ressemble à quelque chose quoi, les autres ils sont effrayants. Lui il est propre quoi.
Non, lui aussi Mortimer, il a une petite moustache assez sympa. Non, bah
ouais,
il y a moi. Il y a moi aussi.
Non, il est hideux lui.
Ah ouais,
il est complètement tordu.
Super sympa. Ah ouais, je le trouve super cool. Par contre, non.
Moi je parle de bel homme, pas de cool.
Mais la colatitude c'est mieux que la beauté, je serais cher. Où est-ce qu'elle est? Je vais la voir. Non, pas. Où est-ce qu'elle est, celle qui est morte? Oh, attends, il y a des serviteurs. Emma, non. Je ne la retrouve plus, j'ai hâte de la voir. Je crois qu'elle avait une bonne tête, elle. Je peux aller voir tout.
En haut à gauche.
Adam, tu vois, c'est... Elle était cool, elle. Elle a un petit côté de l'estrange, là, tu vois. L'estrange un peu tabassé. Bon. C'est ça que tu voulais? Non, c'était quoi? Ah ouais, t'es sûr?
Please, tell me a little more about the nature of your relationship.
That is a personal matter, monsieur.
Yes, that is true. So, tell me.
All right. It was passion. That's why we couldn't stay together. It scared her.
Ok.
Donc ça sert à rien de lui demander si il l'aimait.
Ouais. Était-elle finie? Il vient de me le dire, donc celle-ci.
Exactly how long had you been seeing her?
I have no reason to answer you.
I see. Is that what you want me to tell Lord Mortimer when he asks what I found out?
It's only been a few weeks.
Où est-ce qu'il était?
Where were you last night?
In my room. I read a few ancient manuscripts before going to bed.
Ils ont pas la même version. En fait. Je me demande si c'est pas Mortimer qui ment, moi, en fait.
Thank you kindly. We finished. I'll have a look around and then take my leave.
Do whatever you have to do.
Il est peut-être classieux, mais... Oh, il a l'air grave, là, comme ça.
Ah mais non, mais il est classe, il tient droit. C'est d'Alice, quoi.
Peut-être pour ça qu'il a tué de 9 coups de couteau, les 9 coups de couteau de la passion. Non? Je vois pas moyen de descendre.
Mais arrête de vouloir descendre à chaque fois.
Tu sais pourquoi je veux descendre. On va aller voir Wilfried.
Puis c'est responsabilité, ça aussi. Incroyable ça.
Bon, ouais. Ça c'est la salle du meurtre, ouais, je crois. Ouais, et regardez celle-là.
Et du coup, il allait chez elle pour la voir?
Je me demandais si elle n'a pas été. Ouais, on ne saura pas, j'avais pas assez de.
C'est un peu le chaos quand même, il y a rien à manger comme ça.
Il a peut-être été chercher le livre pour s'innocenter, tu vois. Il a une petite chambre lui, je m'attendais à... Ah ouais, ok.
Qui là?
Washington. Ah merde, je peux pas les chercher.
Map of Vermont.
Ok, bon. Vermont, parce que c'est une des premières zones a été conquise, non? Ou il était peut-être issu du Vermont. Ah, Prométhée déjà. L'homme qui a donné le feu du dieu, le feu des dieux aux hommes. Enfin non, c'était un homme. Enfin je sais pas si c'était un homme Prométhée, non c'était un dieu. Je sais pas trop. Un demi-dieu. Très utile de regarder le coin comme ça.
My dear George, I'd like to invite you to join me as planned at my place. I have a project to show you. It is time that the United States played a more important role on the world stage. I understand your reluctance of playing with fire. I know your new country is very young, but rest assured that I would do nothing to jeopardize what we have built together. I look forward to seeing you soon. Your friend, William.
C'est son invitation par Mortimer.
A map of Connecticut.
C'est différents états. Ah, il regardait peut-être en face, ça se trouve. Oh le vieux cochon! Il regardait par la longue vue, je vois.
It looks like a note between Emily and Washington about trade deals. Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost. Portrait of George Washington.
Le portrait ressemble. Il était plus beau sur le portrait.
C'est du Photoshop de peinture, quoi.
On t'a photoshopé, mais... Ah, dis donc, lui, t'es classe, il a une belle soupe. Alors, les bottes. Oh! What? Bah... Pardon? C'est passé un truc,
Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better.
Ah, cool. Bon.
Greetings, Louis.
Mr. President, you can guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Lord Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
It's... How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
I know, Mr. President. I shall endeavor to find out the truth about this tragedy. I must ask you to help me, though. Please.
Find the degenerate pig who did this, Louis.
Tell me, Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered. Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes, she came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve.
Il a pas parlé, mais elle est venue lui demander du laudanum.
Do you take it regularly, Mr. President?
Unfortunately, I do, Louis. I still suffer from a terrible toothache, and it's not likely to get any better.
It's just for that, then?
Old age, my young friend. I don't wish it upon you, but you'll soon see. At my age, it's rare to have no problems in that domain.
And do you take a lot?
A moderate amount, Louis. Only the dosage indicated on the prescription of my doctor.
Do you know if she had any enemies, Mr. President?
Not that I know of. I heard about her altercation with Mr. Peru. But that case was closed, if I'm not mistaken. But if in doubt, I wouldn't leave any door unopened. And I'd go and question your fellow countrymen.
Don't worry. Countryman or not, I'm not letting anybody slip through the cracks. Mr. President, we found a footprint at the scene of the crime.
Not a dress shoe, I hope. That's all I wear.
No, rest assured, it looks like the print of a big ankle boot. A large size, I'd say.
Perfect. That should help you, Louis. It's a clue.
Hey, pourquoi est-ce que certaines phrases, il me remballe comme ça?
Louis.
Do you know if she had any enemies, Mr. President?
Not that I know of. I heard about her altercation with Mr. Perry. But that case was closed, if I'm not mistaken. But if in doubt, I wouldn't leave any door unopened.
Avec lui, tu vois,
and I'd go and question your fellow countrymen.
Don't worry. Countryman or not, I'm not letting anybody slip through the cracks. Do you know why she came to the island?
To get help, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right?
Indeed. Sir Gregory suggested to her father that he introduce her to Lord Mortimer to see if he could help her.
T'as pas parlé à Holm?
Non, mais je sais pas où il est, Holm.
Normalement, il est à l'étage au-dessus.
On va aller voir. Attends, pourquoi l'invité maintenant? Logique, je l'ai toujours pas.
Yes, Lord Mortimer has a talent for healing, apparently. I'm not surprised Sir Gregory advised her to come.
Agreed.
Bon, moi je pense que ça, il va me dire qu'il a mal aux dents, ça sert à rien. Et son alibi pour la nuit dernière, j'hésite. Après, j'ai 2 points avec le miel. Ça m'en coûte 2. Ou j'ai une utilisation gratuite d'une compétence avec... Ouais, je vais quand même le faire.
I'm talking to all the guests to find out who has an alibi and, well, who doesn't, Mr. President. Can you tell me what you were doing last night so that I can strike your name off the list?
I spent the night right here, reading.
All night?
Exactly.
Ouais, ils ont pas la même...
Emily
aucun n'a la
stopped
même
by in
version,
the middle of the night, you can ask her. She wanted to talk about some business we have in common.
Anything whatsoever to do with Elizabeth?
Not at all, Louis. A business matter.
Tu vois, c'est ça qui se passe, c'est que...
I shan't keep you any longer, Mr. President.
Feel free, Louis. If there's anything I can do, just ask.
Thank you,
ça me coûte
Mr.
des points de
President.
compétence, Monsieur le Président, j'arrête. Mortimer me dit que lui et Napoléon sont montés plus tôt. Napoléon me dit qu'ils ont tous joué aux cartes, mais c'est pas vrai, puisque lui ne me dit pas qu'il a joué aux cartes. Tu disais qu'il était où, toi, Holm?
Eh ben, à l'étage avec Mortimer, non?
Je l'ai pas vu, là.
La chambre est à l'étage, et pas avec.
Ah, ouais.
Je suppose que si tu dois lui parler, c'est ça.
Je sais pas si on peut parler aux serviteurs aussi. Regarde, le prêtre il était là, ouais, il est toujours là.
Ah non, il n'y a pas de chambre ici.
Ah non, on nous a menti. Une seconde, on a que je repasse à un truc. Voilà.
Each 4-letter word could open this chest.
Tu vas partir des zinc.
On va réessayer. Non, c'est déjà pas possible. Zeus. Ziz. Ah, Ziz, Zeus. Hop là. Alors ah, ah. Ah mais je ne trouve jamais ce que le nouveau. Attends, c'est une note. Non, c'est pas...
La grosse statue en bas, là, dans le hall, c'est... Lui, hein.
Et c'est Zeus, parce que ça ne me rapprocherait
Zeus.
pas. Zeus.
Pas Zeus.
Ziz.
Zeus.
Ziz.
Ah non.
Zeus. Bah c'était... Ouais, mais je sais pas.
C'est Zeus.
Mais il vient d'avoir une note à lui, non? Ah, moi que ce soit un non. Oh, regarde-moi tous les poids que j'ai, il faut que je me repose. Laissez-moi dormir. Ah bah... Il me reparle d'une note rédigée à la main. Je ne la vois pas. Non, non, non. Ça c'est que des livres de toute manière, non? Ah voilà, c'est ça en fait. Quand j'en aurai 5, je gagnerai des points de... Okay. Bon. Je suis quand même un peu au regret de dire que j'aurais voulu parler à Hall au moment. Salut, on discute. Oh, ils sont noirs ceux-là, c'est des gardes noirs. C'est les gardes personnels de... Hein?
Faut lui poser des questions lui aussi.
On y vient, très cher, on y vient.
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
I'm sorry, my lord, but I don't have any evidence conclusive enough to allow me to name the culprit with certitude.
Really? I see. Well, that's your decision, Louis, and I accept it. Given the distinguished guests and the sensitive political issues involved at the conference, I trust you'll leave me to conclude the case in my own way. Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
Ah, c'est tout, pardon.
She seems to be making every effort to steer clear of your guests.
What do you mean?
For the past few weeks, my mother's been playing cat and mouse, if you will. I don't know why, but it wouldn't surprise me to learn that she's trying to avoid someone. The question is, who?
And in your opinion, would she be the cat or the mouse?
Knowing my mother, she would be the cat.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the cannon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me.
Sort de vendre des armes, ça m'étonnerait, mais c'est pourtant ce qu'il disait, que je reprendrai à la place de...
Did my mother intend to finance a war? I'm not sure that I follow.
No, your mother's aim was not so much to partake in a war, but rather to make Monsieur Bonaparte accountable. France is in turmoil, and having the support of a military man can often come in handy, Louis. You'll see. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play, and I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
If only my mother trusted me, but she remained very mysterious. I'd have been delighted to answer your question.
Is this usual for her?
As head of the order, secrets are her bread and butter, as you can imagine. That said, it's the first time she hasn't let me in on the reason for her trip. And it intrigues me, to tell you the truth.
Well, I'm sure that Sarah will explain everything once she reappears. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Maybe she found something out.
What do you mean?
My mother has a gift for investigating. If she had picked up a lead, nothing would have stopped her.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
J'essaie d'éviter le sujet, vous savez pourquoi.
Tu crois que ça serait beau papa, lui?
Comment?
Arrête,
j'aime pas que tu parles comme ça de...
What did you talk about together?
Je ne sais pas.
Oh,
mais
as
cette
soon
histoire
as we had a little
d'immortalité, là.
free time, we like to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go
Non, c'est même
from
pas vrai.
Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
En fait, c'est les Illuminati, les mecs.
Ah, yes. His famous cotton gin. It was supposed to revolutionize cotton production in the United States.
It will revolutionize the world, Louis. The potential of this invention is much greater. Tomorrow, all industries will be switching to simple but large-scale production. Of that, I'm sure.
I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Ah, c'est un Français, Mortimer.
Mother lulled my childhood with tales of the Crusades. How Richard the Lionheart and Philip Augustus had to battle it out to achieve their ends. And how Guy de Lusignan, having broken his word, launched the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Oh, I see Sarah's lessons have inspired new enthusiasts. Good on you, because not everyone can claim they know as much at your age.
C'est un immortel, je le sais!
Is a
Retire ta
very
barbe!
well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on.
That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that?
Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation, until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
Il aurait pu dire
Room is
ça.
just opposite Mortimer's study.
Mais il y a quand même beaucoup de secrets, n'oublions pas que tout ça ce sont des histoires de société secrète. On ne sait pas vraiment où on va, ma chère, on ne sait pas. Mais, hélas, nous nous arrêterons ici pour l'instant. Et nous reprendrons cette recherche de l'occulte et de la vérité sur ma mère. Et peut-être mon papa. Arrête de dire ça, arrête. Plus tard. Eh bien, on continuera la prochaine fois. Très chers amis, très chers patients, très chers invités alternés. La vérité est peut-être ailleurs, mais elle ne nous échappera pas bien longtemps.